YouTube! Apple just released the brand new iOS 17.0.3 update, which was made specifically to address the overheat gate, and there's also some security patches. So I highly recommend you update to that now if you have an iPhone 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max. Now, to address the overheat gate, like I told you guys from the beginning, do not listen to the over-exaggeration and sensational content on YouTube that was running rampant. There was a lot of claims without any facts. People were saying it was the titanium, it doesn't dissipate enough heat. It's the A17 Pro is too powerful for the iPhone body and chassis. That was absolutely not it. It was 100,000% software. And there were apps causing issue. One to be named, Instagram was causing some background refresh issues that were causing these devices to randomly overheat. Now, I personally did not have any of these issues, and the majority of my comment sections did not have any of these issues, but there were a few people who were plagued by these issues. Lo and behold, 17.0.3 has released, and everything is corrected. Now, the reason why I was so adamant telling people not to fall for the cap content is because people are gonna push a narrative to get the viewership. And here's the simple way to know. Look at all of those overheat gate, battery issue, battery concerns, what was it? Design concerns, durability concerns. Look at those videos, look at the viewership on them versus their typical content. And even the videos that they dropped after that had nothing to do with the overheat gate. I'm telling you, they were milking it for views. Now listen, you're gonna see a lot of cap videos coming. I'm telling you, they gotta keep milking this, where they're gonna be running benchmark tests and they're gonna be testing the heat. A benchmark test is not everyday use, and it's gonna push the chip to the furthest tip of its performance, which will push it to the maximum amount of heat that it can produce. In those scenarios, it's gonna get hot, but the 17.0.3 update was for the specific random overheating from regular users who weren't doing anything different, weren't doing any benchmarks. Come on, man. They were just doing everyday usage and having their device randomly get hot. A lot of that due to Instagram and that possible iOS 17 bug. That's what this addressed. End of discussion on that point. Now, another thing I gotta bring up, durability concerns. Listen, Consumer Reports did a really great test, and someone in my comment section told me to check it out. I checked it out, and as you can see, they did an extensive drop test as well as a massive bend test, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max did not break. Again, this is machine. Someone tried to claim that those guys in my other video were too scrawny to break it. What you gotta say now? Listen, every year the iPhone releases, there's a big fury of hate and people trying to discover a gate, something being wrong so that they could run up the viewership and sensationalism, get the clicks, get the AdSense. Come on, you guys. I saw one creator, every overheat, durability, and battery concern video, they were pushing an affiliate link with the promo code for their pockets. I just gotta call it out because I'm one of the few people, I ain't here to do all that. I love tech, and this device, both of these devices have been phenomenal, and I did not like the wrongful narrative causing you guys to question and also run away, detouring people from a device that has given me nothing but positive user experience. That was my reason for speaking up. Now let's carry on to my 2 weeks later update. I got some things to update you guys on that a lot of people probably won't be. Number one, the fine woven MagSafe wallet. Now I've been rocking with this bad boy. It's been in my pocket. It's the device that I put on the back of my phone, and I set my phone like this. So this is the device that's taken a lot of the wear and tear so far. 2 weeks later of use, it's starting to show some wear though. It's starting to get a little dirt on it. I mean, it's the taupe color, so I could expect that. I also kept the black one as well. So back here around the MagSafe connection point, you can see it starting to wear there. But in general, the fine woven's doing okay thus far. Now, I did not keep a fine woven case, but I'm gonna keep beating on this wallet for you guys. And another thing I'm gonna be doing is I got some case opinions and alternatives, some leather in there and some other great alternatives and some accessories coming. You know, I got the clear cases for you guys and all that good stuff. Everything, even MagSafe battery pack alternative, MagSafe wallet alternatives. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, let's keep it going. Now, 2 weeks later with the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, and yes, I have been using both of these simultaneously for these 2 weeks side by side. Business line, personal line, simple as that. Now, let me just say this. These are great iPhone designs this year. And this is a great collective of user experience. I know iOS 17, you know what I mean, a little rough in the edges with that start, you know, with everything going on. But now that Apple is actively, you know, correcting and addressing those things, I mean, the update's already out, so we could put that conversation in the past. Moving forward, it's just about fine-tuning iOS 17 to run the best and most optimized that it can. And so far, it's been running great. Good battery life with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, fair battery life with the iPhone 15 Pro. It's as simple as that. You're doing pro usage, pro, you know what I mean, functionalities in a smaller chassis, smaller battery. It's hard to get similar or, you know, as consistent battery as you do with a Pro Max model. But if you are a typical user, the 15 Pro, the battery life can service you well. I just want to send out that warning because the heavy users or the people who are used to the Pro Max battery, you're not gonna see that on the 15 Pro. But I do recognize and understand that large phone fatigue is 100% real, and a lot of people are downsizing from the Pro Max this year into the 15 Pro. The beauty about that is this year, the 15 Pro is packing a lot of performance, a great chip, a great iOS 17 experience, a great overall package, new design, it's super light. This is the ideal everyday pocket compatible, hand size compatible device. So I understand from a comfortability perspective and just from an everyday user perspective and from a large phone fatigue perspective, this is the phone that you're gonna wanna choose, trust me. But I always gotta send it with the truth. The warning that I give you is just battery life, especially if you're downsizing. Trust me, you'll feel the hit and you'll notice it. But outside of that, if you can cope with that, if you can keep devices around, keep the devices charged properly for those stop gaps where you need things like this, I also got alternatives for that MagSafe coming up in that accessory video. Now, for those users who out there who want the full kit and caboodle, the full iPhone Max Pro experience, you're gonna go with the Pro Max. You're gonna get the larger display, you're gonna get the larger device with the better 5x telephoto zoom lens. That new lens is phenomenal. We'll get to the cameras in a second. You're getting the full top of the line experience that Apple has to offer in their Pro line and just their overall offering with the Pro Max device. But it comes at the cost of a large phone. And large phone fatigue is real. Although the weight reduction is nice with the titanium and aluminum chassis that they've incorporated, the reality is this is a Pro Max. It's still a hefty, large size device, and it's still gonna give you those challenges of everyday carry. But at this point in time, with all of the flagships being typically about this size, with all of the competitors, most people who opt in for this size know exactly what they're getting into, and they're just fine with it. But going in between these two, the most convenient to carry on a daily basis is the 15 Pro, but the most max user experience is with the 15 Pro Max. So hopefully that update 2 weeks later gives you guys a little perspective and helps you guys decide between the two. If you want a more in-depth versus between these videos, I made a video specifically comparing the 15 Pro to the 15 Pro Max to help you decide on that decision. All right, next up, let's get into it. This is the hot topic of the year, and it is the cameras. Matter of fact, let me pull both up, because both of these devices have great camera housings. But obviously the 15 Pro Max has a little extra under the hood with that 5x telephoto. And the funny thing is, the upcoming S24 Ultra is gonna have a 5x telephoto. The upcoming newly announced Pixel 8 Pro, 5x telephoto. So everyone has something to say when Apple did the 5x, but yet everyone else is now coming out with a 5x. This is what I be talking about in tech space, man. Some of y'all, listen, if you just can't stand Apple and it annoys you, do not click on the videos. Do not come here commenting all of your toxicity and just keep it on the sideline. You know, there's plenty of Samsung videos and Pixel videos in rotation at all times. These devices and the camera department are delivering some heat this year. And the biggest reason I can say it for both of them, although the hardware is different just in that telephoto area, is because of image processing. Especially on smartphones, outside of the physical hardware of the camera is the image processing. It's what's in that A17 Pro. It's the way that Apple has programmed their processing, you know, all that HDR AI and all that stuff they be doing, which I'm kind of indifferent to, but there's a way around it. We'll talk about it. That's really good this year. Snapping photos, right out auto, bam. Apple's giving you a very pleasant result this year. If you're big on cameras, especially on your smartphone, if you like snap a lot of photos, take video and things like that, these are the ones to do it with. Out of every smartphone, gotta keep it a buck. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro, haven't touched that yet. Probably soon. We'll see how that compares because they made some huge claims with their video, but a lot of it is, we'll talk about that later. So what should I do? I'm gonna take you outside. When I talk about cameras, I'm gonna show you some real world footage and we're gonna talk about and discuss it a little bit more because ProRes Log this year is a game changer. If ProRes Log is not for you, it's not for you, but for the people who it's for, oh my God. Thank you, Tim Apple. Let's go. All right. The phenomenal front-facing camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Right now I'm using my 15 Pro to FaceTime my bros and we debating. So the debate is, the reality is there are more mobile gamers than there are console and PC. Console and PC only makes up for 300 million of the, was it 3.8 billion or something that are total gaming. Now C-Kid is a PS5 fanboy. I use PC gaming, Xbox and PS5. I really don't have no allegiance, but I do find that PC gaming for competitive gaming is a bit more the wave. But that's beside the point. The front-facing ProRes Log on this device is phenomenal. See, got the Nomad case on here, just checking in. I know y'all like those animal documentaries on Netflix, bro. They got one called Predator. Oh, heat. So they had the cheetahs. Man, then the cheetah episode, and I'm tight, bro. I want to keep knowing what's gonna happen to my boys. And then they had the lion. Oh, Nina, she raw. Hey, y'all gotta check it out though.
Bro, that's how you know you deep in the show, when you know the name of the animal.
So as you can see, me and my bros be having crazy combos on FaceTime. And that's why when there was all of these, you know, accusations around overheating, I was kind of confused because I'm doing a lot of high-end, you know, stuff on my devices that are everyday tasks. But, you know, FaceTime is one of those battery drainers and heat warmers. We don't even need to go there because we already addressed that in the video, but that's why I was kind of like raising eyebrows, and luckily my eyebrow raise was validated. But this is the rear facing camera. I'm using ND Filter, the Pro Blackmagic camera app, and I'm showing you some of the best that this lens has to offer. It's fire, it's heat. All right, it's no secret that the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max have currently, to date, the best camera housing on any smartphone. You can argue to death your bias or whatever, but I've seen them head to head. I've seen the results against the top contenders thus far. I mean, there's some more contenders to go. Pixel 8 Pro, we got to get that in. I haven't done the Pixel Fold. Maybe I'll do the Pixel Fold because we just got Android 14. I'll do that against the 15 Pro Max for fun. And it's another good conversation about the two worlds of foldables, which is innovative versus, you know, the typical glass sandwich that we have right now. But moving forward on these devices, right here, the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, hands down, top of the line cameras, top of the line video, top of the line photos, until the Pixel. We'll see. You know what I mean? I gotta keep optimism for the Pixel 8 Pro because it should be promising. But outside of that, the best. It's simple. I don't have to dance around that. I don't care. Call me a sheep. Call me whatever you want to do. That's not what it is. I touch a lot of devices. I'm one of the few people who has a preference, but I touch everything. And that's the key to having real balance out here in these streets, because it's easy to be biased. A lot of you guys in the comments are biased. You won't admit you're biased, but you're absolutely biased. Let's carry on into user experience, because that's the gist and the most thing to talk about. I touched on battery already. I touched on all of the cap gates. And I touched on a camera. Let's talk about the user experience, which is the collective and the most important thing. How have my 2 weeks been using these devices? If you can't tell, it's been great. It's been ideal. It's been a darn good user experience, which is why I was tight when I saw these creators capping, trying to detour people from what is a great iOS and iPhone user experience currently with the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. And something to keep an eye on. Let's see how the narrative goes, because if they're not keeping the same energy going forward that they had in the beginning, boy, I tell you, man. And listen, I don't have to say names. Y'all already know who it is. And I would hope that seeing the people who stayed even keel, level-headed about this, didn't jump on the train and kept it a buck, I would hope that you guys now see who is actually truly trustworthy in this game. Now, user experience on these devices has been phenomenal. It's been great. It's been ideal. It's been what I've expected. I got a lighter iPhone versus last year, which is welcome. It's not like hugely crazy, you know what I mean, in the weight reduction, but you feel it. The way that they did the weight distribution, I don't know what kind of magic it is, but you absolutely feel it. Especially when you're everyday carrying a large device along with another device of a nice size. Carrying these two devices together has been smooth as butter due to the weight reduction. Another great thing with them is the build quality. You guys, I've dropped my 15 Pro on hardwood, on the titanium too. The one that they said is just a terrible, you know what I mean, design choice. It's been fine thus far. And I rock these two devices right now without a case. Let me add this on. For people who watch drop tests, which are absolutely non-scientific, do most of you not use a case? I'm pretty sure a lot of you use a case, right? And a lot of you use screen protectors on devices like this. I'm guilty, I watch too. Let me keep it a buck. Like, ooh. Especially considering the fact that I do not use a case. But in me not using a case, in the state of these, devices that they are, and the way that I treat them, you see me slam them down on the table every time. I know that probably grinds some people's gears, but I do not baby these, as you guys can see, and they've held up extremely well. Same thing even with the last year's design with the stainless steel and all that. I put that thing through its paces and it held up good. I mean, the screen got some nice scratches, which is expected. I don't doubt that I'm probably gonna see some screen scratching in my, time of having these devices, which I already have one scratch on the 15 Pro. But from a durability standpoint, most of you guys already use cases and screen protectors. You can do those two things. And I have a video coming for you guys on some of those suggestive items to help you protect your device. But durability has been just fine. I don't even feel a lack of confidence. I know the sensational content was out there, had a play in the beginning, a little raising the eyebrow, but then I saw videos that contradicted what was shown, and then I started to raise major eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not gonna get into pointing fingers and, calling cap, but there's a lot of cap out there. So from a durability standpoint, you can trust these devices thus far. And again, add a case, add a screen protector, end of discussion. Now, one of the biggest things in user experience with the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max is iOS 17. A lot of people don't understand that at this point with phones, with them reaching the ceiling as far as hardware goes, the true experience is in the software. So a lot of the updates made to iOS 17 are what increase true user experience with the 15 Pro Max and 15 Pro. Now, yes, you can put iOS 17 on older iPhones and have a similar to closer experience. That's not up for debate. The reality is, how does iOS 17 interact with the 15 Pro and some of the advantages that the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max have over previous generations? One of the biggest ones is the action button. I know I've been talking about this thing since the beginning. It's because it's that good if you use it in a way that it benefits you. If you don't use it in a way that benefits you, carry on. It's a gimmick to you. But to me, this thing is valuable. I got my menu. If you guys want to know how to make this shortcuts menu that I put right here, it's in my previous 1 week update video. I put it in the beginning of there. I taught you guys how to make this menu directly, so that way you can control things and trigger actions from a menu that drops down from this action button at a long hold press. So I'm having an even better user experience because of that action button. It's not a gimmick, it's real. Going forward, even beyond that, there's other things that are just in the category of convenience that always come in the iOS ecosystem that have just been uplifted. Like the new way that you can pass your contacts by bumping two iPhones together and getting an animation. I have it turned off right now because having these two phones together, they were always connected. And also having other convenience features like the auto delete of your temporary passcodes that you get. Auto delete from your messages once it's used. That is convenient. It was already convenient enough the way that iOS automatically collected your one-time passcodes for you, but now they're helping you delete them afterwards. Because if you know on your messages, when you go to your history and you got a bunch of one-time passcodes, it just clutters your iMessage. Well, you no longer have to deal with that. If you want to know how not to, I think I made a TikTok video showing people the top iOS features. I didn't do it here. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have already watched it on YouTube. But just small conveniences and tweaks like that and even further. There's so many things in iOS 17 that were made from a convenience perspective. A lot of people were kind of upset about it because it wasn't super innovative and crazy. I personally appreciate the convenience. All of the convenience features that we got in iOS 17 that I've been using over these last 2 weeks from a daily standpoint, and not just the gimmicky quote unquote ones or whatever, has been phenomenal. Has equaled a great user experience for me and my 2 devices. So what is the conclusion that I want to give to you guys from this video without extending it too far? I know I could go long. I like to discuss this tech stuff because I'm genuinely passionate about it. The conclusion is you can buy a 15 Pro and a 15 Pro Max without expecting disappointment. Now, if you're coming year over year or even just from 2 years, come on now, you already know. But if you're coming from those older devices from the 12 and back, you guarantee you're gonna feel the upgrade. And I need the people down below who have grabbed a 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max to comment your user experience. You help the community. Your voice is so much more important than those, I don't even know what to call them. Those are cap creators out there just putting a lot of cap in the space for their own benefit. I do this for y'all. I do it for myself too because I get a joy out of speaking and interacting with these tech spaces. Not for myself for just monetary gain and all that stuff. It's more about interacting and using these devices and just sharing my experience. That's my true passion. And that's why I can tell you wholeheartedly, you can go 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max and enjoy your user experience. And that's it, point blank, period. And if anybody got a problem for me calling out the truth and reality, yeah, deal with it, man. Get a helmet, life is rough. Ooh. You technology snobs, I done just about had it with all of y'all. Listen. Duck.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. Need no middleman, I'm the man to man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights, it's sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night.